Hello and welcome to Modkit Mayhem. This week we're going to build the Tiger 1 Zvezda kit. So the idea behind this week's video was to make a start on a 1:35 tank. I chose the Tiger because I thought it'd be quite good fun to do a budget build. The kind of premise behind this is find the cheapest 1:35 Tiger tank I could find on the market at the moment and build that and see how it goes and try and make a nice kit from that. Well, it might be an interesting build. The box is actually quite good, interesting artwork on the front, and the model on the back is quite cool as well. And it gives you Tamiya colours on the side, which is quite nice. My idea behind the video is just to keep it really simple really and build it from the box. There's no extras other than what you get with it, and keep it as simple as that and try and do a nice paint scheme at the end. It's a pretty standard build. The instructions follow the same route as like all other tanks. The plastic orangey brown colour was just like the Panther I built last, so that was quite interesting. Very similar to sort of Tamiya rather than the usual grey dragon colour or other sort of off beige that Tamiya do. So I was a bit nostalgic. I didn't expect there to be an interior on this kit, and to be fair, there's quite a good little detailed interior for the turret, but it's extra time, and if you're not going to open the tank then it's probably not worth it. I plan to sort of keep some of the hatches open so you can see inside some of the actual detail. I've never done an interior of a Tiger tank, so I'm not sure how accurate it is. The only kind of sort of snag in terms of the way this is done is it means I have to paint the inside before I seal up the turret, so that kind of puts the videos out of sync. I'll have to build the turret, then undercoat it, paint the inside before I can do anything on the outside, so that'll be the next step after this video. But for this video I'll show the interior being built. I was a bit of a rush and I actually made a mistake here. It just goes to show, look at the instructions and check twice, but I glued the breech upside down because if you see, there's a little notch in the plastic front of that, and if you're rushing you think it's the right way, but actually it's not, so you double check that because I had to snap it off at the end and that was quite stressful. I fixed that problem, but yeah, just watch that one. There's a fair bit of flash on these Zvezda kits. I mean, it's a budget kit, so you're expecting that anyway. It takes a little bit extra time, you don't get that on the other more expensive kits. And the pin marks as well, they need scribing off. It was so nice using Tamiya glue again after using the tube glue on the last build, which was the Harrier. It speeds things up so much more. The plastic is incredibly thick on the turret. I don't know if they've gone scale, but it's really thick plastic. Right, so it's time to put the details in the turret, and rather than bore you, I just speed up the video here so you can see how I sort of place all the parts and the extra bits. There's sort of boxes and ammunition bags and gas mask canisters, the seating as well. I think there's a pistol holster, and then yeah, it's just various details, so it should look quite good when it's painted, but I'm not going to go crazy. It's going to be pretty standard. I won't weather it up too much inside. My idea was to make this tank sort of almost brand new because it's actually for the Kursk, so it'll have rolled up just off of some train and then be deployed, so there's not going to be a lot of weathering on this. I think it'll look quite nice in a kind of newer paint scheme. So here it is. This is why I found out that I'd gone wrong with the gun breech, and you'll see that the side shield doesn't fit on because it doesn't line up properly, and that was my first indication that where I'd gone wrong. But as soon as I'd fixed that, it all went back together fine. And now the shield fits on into the notch and alongside perfectly. And then fit that onto the manlet. And also it's a nice pair of vision sights for the aimer, so that's quite cool. But you build the shell basket first. That fits together nicely as well. That will have scratches and dents and all sorts of things because it's a lot of movement around that. And then yeah, here's the vision, the optical sights for the aimer. After that, there's some detail to go on the roof of the turret, so cut that out and then put that on. I need to look what these are. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look at a cross section of a Tiger tank, but it's extra detail. It'll look quite cool. Also, they give you see-through periscope sights. And they'll look quite good when they're painted, but I put that in. It'll need masking on the top part when I spray the outside. Next is the cupola. It's two pieces with a glue down top and then got kind of glass interiors for the vision ports. And I wasn't entirely sure I was going to do this because you can't really glue it after, so we're going to have to do some masking, use a latex masking solution and paint it in there and then remove it after the spray. Then the stowage bin at the back. And the side gun manlet pins. Bit too much glue there, you don't need much. And then the vent on top, which is in 2 parts, it's quite nice, quite detailed. That got a nice kind of fan vent underneath. The next part was to be like the bulkhead behind the driver and radio operator, but it came out of the kit completely warped and I wasn't sure how I was going to fix it. I tried bending it back, but it's very brittle, so it'd be quite easy to snap. And in the end, because I'm not building the interior, I decided that I'd just probably take it out. And then you've got the petrol, and I think these are petrol tanks. They go in fine. I made a little error here because I should have painted these before I put the top on, but I'll just have to spray that black. Luckily the back panels are still open, so I can put a red in there, you know, like an undercoat red. But on the kind of tank parts that are in the forward hatches, I'll have to spray them black. It's fine. Although I'd probably have to mask them anyway, so it doesn't make much difference. Now, there is a big problem here, and it kind of scuppered me a little bit because I'm not sure how to I'd get around it. The hull is extremely warped. You can see to the right side is lower and kind of curves down. That's why the actual crosshead bulkhead bar didn't fit at all. In the end, the only way I could see to remedy this warping was just to slowly move back the elements and just bend them back into shape and then use the back plate to line it all up. You've got a heavy duty back plate on the Tiger, so it will act as a kind of jig to get the parts in line. And with a few, you know, twists and turns and just pulling the plastic back, it eventually went into shape. So just be aware that you'll probably have to do that unless I'm really unlucky and it was just my kit, but it took a bit of work. But again, it's what you pay for, it's a budget kit, so you're going to have to do a bit of work like that. Once you've got it all lined up, the plate fits it all together anyway, so if you glue that in stages, so glue one side, let that dry, and then pull the part that's most warped back into place and then glue that and fix it and hold it, it holds fine and it really shapes up the hull properly. Probably why I rushed a little bit to get the top part on to really hold it all together. The front part of the roof has a little bit of plastic. There's an excess over the front, and you'll see when you push it down, it kind of catches, so you can't put the front points into their positions. They literally hover above it and it forces the plastic to bend. So you have to chop them out, and then all the parts fit together nicely then. So you glue the front, get that into position. I found that if I glued that part down at the front into position and got that all lined up so that it fitted nicely, then I could push down the back part, and only needed to do a little bit of filing on the kind of side cleats for the cables on top. They fit in, so you have to line them up right. It's a little bit narrow, so if you file either side of the cleat, it fits better. It's a good solid chassis once you've got all the parts put in place. So then you've got a front plate, and that's again got a clear part for the driver's vision port. I wasn't following the instructions here, I'm slightly ahead of it just so I can get the build ahead. And the machine gun fits into the front part there. And just line that up so that you can put the machine gun front onto. The driver and our radio operator's front armour fits on great. You just have to push down one side a little bit, but that's fine. That's it for this week. That's as far as I got on the build. I'll continue on next week and start getting on with the main wheels and the track system, which is quite advanced. So that'll take a good part of next week's video, and yeah, hopefully that'll go fine. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first part of the Tiger build. Like and subscribe below. That helps a lot. That'd be great if you could do that. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll catch you next week. Thanks very much. Cheers now. Ta-ra. Bye.